So in today's video, we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to take a map tour of Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're going to do that because I'm hearing from so many of you that it's very difficult to kind of get an overall feel of where Knoxville is located, how it's laid out, in the different areas that we talk about in these videos. Real quickly, let's zoom out to begin with today. And let's look at the East Tennessee area, Tennessee in general, then we'll jump back in. So let's get started by jumping out just a little bit and looking at where Knoxville sits within the state of Tennessee. So Knoxville sits here in the southeast part of the state, in the east, southeast Tennessee. If you are someone who has been to Nashville, or you're someone who's been to Memphis, which are areas that a lot of folks I talked to have been to in the past, what you're going to see is very different topography, feel than you're going to find in Middle and West Tennessee. East Tennessee is very different. It's much hillier and has a much different topography. One of the great things about living here and why so many people choose to live in Tennessee outside of the topography, the beauty, and all the things we've talked about in other videos is that it's very centrally located. So if you look at this map, one of the things that you're going to see is that we are very centrally located to 2/3 of the population of the United States we can get to within a one-day's drive. We are also very conveniently located because I-75 and I-40 come together right here in Knoxville, two highly traveled interstates that lead to different parts of the country. So it's a very convenient area to get to, as well as then, jumping off into 81. Or if you go on down south, you can get on to 24 and 59. So very conveniently located. Now, real quickly, before we move on, I do want to show you this. You can see Crossville right here. So just to the east of Crossville, between Knoxville and Crossville, are the Cumberland Mountains. This area right here is really kind of a dividing point between East and Middle Tennessee. And that's very important for many of you because you're already telling me you're doing your own research, even though we've done videos on the weather. And you're seeing that there is a significant difference in tornadic activity in Middle and West Tennessee as it relates to East Tennessee. This line right here is kind of where you're going to see that division take place. And then the further you go up to the northeast, even less that you're going to find as it relates to tornadic activity. Check those videos out on the channel as well. Okay, let's keep zooming in. We're going to start here in Knoxville, and let's go to downtown to begin with, because most of you know when you've asked me where should I stay the first time, I tell you guys I think you should stay in downtown if you've never been to Knoxville before. It's a very easy place to jump out from, and it has a lot to offer so that you can also look around the area, but also play tourist and find out why so many people want to visit Knoxville. And when I tell most of you, hey, you all always ask me, do you have a suggestion to stay? I always say usually, well, I would suggest that you stay at the Embassy Suites down on Gay Street. That's located right here. If I zoom in just a little bit more, you'll see. So, you have the Embassy Suites down here, and you can see right behind that is Crutch Park, Market Square. This is Gay Street. That's, so well known. The Tennessee Theater is there, on Gay Street, which is just, phenomenal and fantastic that you're going to, at least walk around and look. There's a lot of historic areas, lots of places to eat. Listen, if you're in town at all, on Gay Street is Cruz Farms Ice Cream. If you're like me, you love sweets, you love ice cream, you'll see there'll be a line. It's worth the wait. Make sure you go. Okay, so this is downtown. Now, one of the things about Knoxville is that there isn't a lot of housing in the downtown area. So downtown for us in Knoxville is more of an area that people visit because most of the housing is scattered out around the city in different small neighborhoods. So when you look downtown, one of the things you're going to see is that it does have a lot of touristy areas. It has a lot of places you can go eat and things you can do. But at the same time, it is centered around the University of Tennessee and Gay Street and Market Square. Now, while you're down there, since we're talking about downtown, every restaurant right here in Market Square is great. Always go over to visit Calhoun's on the River. It's a great place to visit while you're there. It sits right on the Tennessee River. You have the University of Tennessee that sits here downtown. I'm going to move down. You got Thompson Bowling Arena right here. You've got Neyland Stadium right here. So it's a really cool area. If we go back to this downtown area, let's step out just a little bit. Okay, so many of you have heard me, first of all, talk about South Knox. Okay, so here's downtown. Here's where the Tennessee Theater was, right there on Gay Street. You have a couple of bridges that you can come across. You've got the Henley Street Bridge, the Gay Street up here. And then as you come over, we consider this to be South Knox, okay? Now, South Knox is an area that's really growing. It's also an area that is very outdoorsy. You'll see a lot of people walking and biking, coffee shops, breweries, that kind of place. And it continues to really grow. I say outdoorsy because if you look, here's South Knox, right? And then, down here in this area, but then you also, and you can see the line around South Knox here, what they technically consider South Knox. But it also backs up to Imes Nature Center. You've seen videos on that a lot. Mead's Quarry is out there. You've got a huge wildlife management area out here. There's a beautiful greenway now that runs around down here on the Tennessee River. There's some new housing that's going in down there. So you have a lot of development that's going on in this area. Fort Dickerson Park is out there. It's a really cool spot. We've got another quarry that you can get to out there and overlooks and hiking, and it's just a real outdoorsy area. Now, here is the Tennessee River and even make it more accessible. So that's South Knox. That's where it's located at, okay? So let's move over now. Let's jump out to North Knoxville, okay? So this is an area that we've talked about quite a bit. If you've talked or watched any of our videos, one of the things you're finding out is that out here in this North Knoxville, we talk about Hall's Crossroads and this area quite a bit. Well, Hall's Crossroads is an area that's really growing. And this is an area up until not too long ago was really rural. It offered a lot of affordable housing. One of the other great things about the Halls area, this North Knoxville area in general, is that it has some really cool, really good places to eat, really good parks. Beaver Brook Golf Course is out here, Thomas Schubert Park, which is another one of the county's fantastic parks. There's smaller parks, and then you have Fountain City down here, which you've got the Fountain City Lake Park. If you've watched our videos, you can look that up as well. The Duck Pond Park's there. Some really good restaurants and stuff there in Fountain City, and it's a really good area. This was one of the fastest growing zip codes in 2023 in the entire country out here in this North Knoxville area. Now, when you're out there, if you start working your way from North Knoxville a little further down toward the west, you start coming down toward what we would call the Carnes area. So this is the Carnes area. Many of you have heard me talk about this Carnes area in the past. So, you've got Carnes here. We also have Powell up here, which is between the two. So you got Hall's Crossroads, Powell, and then you come on down to Carnes. This entire corridor right here is continuing to grow. When you drive down West Emory Road and down 131, one of the things that you're seeing is new subdivisions going in. You're seeing homes that are being renovated and lots of new construction. So this is an area that's growing. Pricing is starting to follow that, as it has continued to go up consistently over the last 3 years. But it's still an area where a lot of you are choosing to live because you do get that feel of small town living out in these communities. Also, if you're someone, I get a lot of folks asking me about Christian education and private Christian schools. A lot of you have talked to me, and some of you have your kids already going to Grace Christian Academy. That's located right here outside and really in Carnes. But you can see how it's easily accessible to Grace from everything from Carnes up to Powell, all the way down here into West and Hardin Valley. So to give you a little bit of perspective, let me back up just a little bit. We've got Halls up to the north. Here's downtown. We've got to Halls. Come on down to Powell. A little further down to the west to Carnes. And then from Carnes, as it's, like I said, a little more rural, we're going to work way down now to Hardin Valley. And if you notice, Carnes is a town. Hardin Valley is an area that's experienced significant growth over the past 5 years. And some of the reason is Hardin Valley's location, because if you look right in Hardin Valley, a couple of things, I-40 that runs right through town. And if you notice, if you're coming up from the north or down from, if you need to get there, say you're having to come this way, go this way to commute, you can get to Hardin Valley off of every one of these exits. So if the interstate is having its normal issues, you can get there in multiple ways. It's also an area that if you need to go toward downtown and commute and want to stay off the interstate, you can go out Hardin Valley, down Middlebrook Pike, and it'll take you all the way down here to downtown. You have Pellissippi Parkway here in Hardin Valley, which runs this way, runs right through it. This is Pellissippi Parkway 162. And if you come out here, you can see it's very closely 15, 20 minutes into Oak Ridge. A lot of people who are working in Oak Ridge, the National Lab, and all the industries that are over there, feeder companies, live in this area of Hardin Valley. One of the negatives that we have right now about the Hardin Valley area is that this area right now, because it's experienced such significant growth, is having to catch up on its infrastructure. They do have quite a bit of traffic. Hardin Valley Academy is out here in Hardin Valley and has huge growth. Very good school, but has experienced a lot of growth. So Hardin Valley, we had called the new Farragut for a while. Pricing out here is now very similar to what we find in the Farragut area. $200 to $250 a square foot. And if depending on the new construction, it could be $300 a square foot. So it really just depends on what you're looking to buy. But once again, great thing is we do have some mature homes out there that have been around for a while to choose from, as well as new construction. So some variation. So now there's Hardin Valley. Now let's jump over to the south into Farragut in this part of West Knoxville. We've done so many videos on West Knoxville, on Hardin Valley, on all these areas. Please check those out on the channel, because I'm really just giving a quick overview of everything today. So this, if you look at the red line here, this technically is Farragut. Okay. But this whole area we consider to be West Knoxville, and this whole area out here is very appealing. Now, there are areas, because a lot of you want to be in the Farragut schools, when you find out that they're really highly ranked public schools, think you must be in here to be in the schools. That's not true. We have schools we have areas of West Knox here that are zoned for Farragut schools, but are actually technically not inside Farragut proper. Now, real quickly, why would someone choose to live in Farragut? We've talked about that a lot. Amenities, healthcare, which you find in all parts of the country, but restaurants, shopping, Costco's, all those kind of great things are out here. You have Willow Creek Golf Course right here, which is a public course. It's a good public course. You have Foxton Country Club on this side, which is a really great private course if you're a golfer. As we zoom in, you start seeing Founders Park. You see a lot of videos we've done on that. McPhee Park is a little further to the west down here. We've done a lot of videos on that. So you've got a lot of parks. You've got Anchor Park over here, which is also a great park on the water. And then you can see it's very obvious. It all backs up to all of our waterways, right? So you have marinas in this area. You're close to all of these types of amenities that are very, very appealing to many people. Now, I'm going to continue to zoom in here so we can get a little bit better feel of what all's here, okay? So if we look, this is Campbell Station Road. If you look at that exit, that brings you right off into the heart of Farragut. And you're going to see, when you do that, this area, see Campbell Station Road, here is I-4075, Parkside Drive. You see it working and winding through. This is the Turkey Creek area. You've got the Regal Pinnacle down there. You've got Walmart. You got all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, you have Costco. This is just on the back side of that right here that's accessible from Kingston Pike. You have numerous restaurants, shops, just about anything you can imagine you're going to find in this Turkey Creek area. You do see some housing in here. And the great thing about Farragut and all of West Knoxville, one of the best things about it to me is that it has been an area that people have desired to live in for 40 years. So what that does is it creates a ton of housing options for you. Whether you want the small 70s-style rancher because it's easy to get around in, you like the old-style layout, or you want the big lots that those are on with the big mature trees, or whether you're looking for brand new saddlebrook construction, that's top of the line with all the latest and greatest amenities, you're going to find that in this greater Farragut area. You have Farragut High School, which is right here. It very conveniently right off we call this Highway 11, and this is what we call Kingston Pike. This runs all the way basically to downtown. This is also, you see, this is Palisade Parkway. If we back that up, get on there and be to Oak Ridge. You can be over here. This goes to Maryville. So it's very, very convenient area to live in. Great schools, great parks, and from Farragut to downtown, whether if you're up in this part of Farragut, you're probably 25 minutes or so. This part's going to get you more 30 to 35 minutes to downtown proper, depending on time of day. Could be less, but shouldn't be really more than that much. You can see out here's McGee Tyson Airport. One of the best things about our area is that great little airport. So it's an easy drive over there, 20 minutes to the airport. So very, very convenient. Now, I'm going to continue to move to the south, and we're going to get out of Farragut proper and get more into this area, what I would call Concord, up into the North Shore area. And we've done videos on North Shore. This is North Shore Drive. It runs all the way up here into Highway 11, and then you go to downtown. And you got Carl Cohen Park. You got Carl Cohen Park over here. We've done videos there. This North Shore Town Center. We've done a lot of stuff on the Town Center, which is, just a really cool little area right here. You've got Target up there. You've got Publix in here. You've got Soccer Taco. You've got craft breweries. Just you name it, it's all right here in these areas. And you also see this. You see a lot of housing options here. Everything from multi-million-dollar homes on the water all the way down to much more affordable homes that are in some more mature subdivisions. We talk a lot about Concord Park, which is very easily accessible, especially from on this side. You can see here's the dog park. We did a video on that. This is the rest of Concord Park here, as far as there's other areas there, and then the marina and Lakeside Tavern. Then you come on down here and you have the Cove at Concord Park. Y'all, we've done a lot of videos on that as well. The beach volleyball and all of that. It's great. And then more and more housing on down here in this Choteau area. So you can see, once again, water everywhere. Very, very desirable area. Now, Farragut, North Shore, this area right here in West Knoxville, because of the water, because of the schools, because of its location, 20 to 30 minutes downtown, 20 to 30 minutes to Maryville, 20 to 30 minutes to Oak Ridge, 10 to 15 minutes to the interstate. 15, 20 minutes to Costco, to you name it. Because of all of that, this is some of our most expensive real estate that you're going to find in Knoxville. It's not the most expensive, but overall, it's an area where you are going to, you're going to have to pay a slight premium for this location, which is understandable, because if it is in your budget, it's probably going to be worth it. It's a fantastic place to live. We live here in this West Knoxville area. I don't live down in Farragut, but I do live up here in this West Knoxville area because it's such a great area to live in, and because of its because of its location. And on top of all of that, they also have right here a K-Brew off Ebenezer, which should be everybody's favorite coffee shop because it's just wonderful. So it's located right here by Point B. Side note, in case you want some good coffee. Now, and let's look at where Maryville is as it relates to West Knoxville. So you have Maryville right here. So one of the things about Maryville, and we'll include that in this, is that you can be, from Maryville, you have basically two ways to get across the Tennessee River, okay? And that can be a negative because if something happens on I-40 on Palisade Parkway across the river, you got a traffic issue, you really can't get over here very easily. Same thing to downtown. If You got to cross and get to downtown. At the same time, that doesn't happen a lot, but so if not, you can be here in West Knoxville in 20, 25 minutes. So you have the best of both worlds of living in a town that has everything you need, but at the same time, it's a little bit less than you find in this West Knoxville area as far as busy goes, with great schools. But from Marable, in here is 20 to 30 minutes, to downtown, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on where you live, by two roads, Pellissippi and then by 129 going in right here. All right, so now if we work our way back to the east, work our way back up, we'll work our way back up North Shore Park, North Shore Drive, and where Pellissippi was, and we come on up. We're still in west, but we're going to come on up to an area that we call, this Rocky Hill area. Now, Rocky Hill is an area that, back up just a little so you can see it. Rocky Hill right here is an area that has always been very popular. It still is. We don't have a lot of homes that become available in there. It is a lot of older homes in that area, older subdivisions. And so when they come up, a lot of single-story homes, ranchers and those kind of things, so they're very desirable. They have, you've got restaurants and some stuff in here as well, so you don't even have to drive out to that unless you want to. You have easy access to the water, and one of the best things that you get in this Rocky Hill area, in all of this area, is you have access to places like Lakeshore Park. And you all know, just from watching the channel, I do a lot of video work out Lakeshore Park. We love to go up there. Fantastic. We were out there this morning with our granddaughter. It's just a great area. Now, once again, the homes in this area are priced fairly close to what you're going to find in the rest of West Knoxville as far as down towards Farragut. Maybe slightly less than Farragut, but not much. Very, very similar. But then if you keep coming to the east, you're going to come back into an area called Sequoia Hills. Now, we did a little video on Sequoia Hills as well not too long ago. Sequoia Hills is the subdivision and the area that years ago is so close to downtown that many, many people who lived in Knoxville lived in the Sequoia Hills area. It's the 19 area code, and it's very expensive. So if I was going to put a price tag on an area, this area right here, Sequoia Hills, up into Westmoreland, this area, Dean Hill, but down in Sequoia Hills is probably what I would say is our most expensive area. But if you're someone who's looking to live in a very high-quality area, absolutely beautiful neighborhood of Sequoia Hills, huge trees, sidewalk-lined streets, beautiful homes, varying architecture, expanding over the last, 40 years plus. They have Sequoia Park, their own park down here. Now, it's a public park open to everybody, but runs along the entire waterway. This is a split road that we've driven down and showed you before, where the walkway's in the center. You just can't describe this area until you've been there, okay? And it's great. The other thing is it's very close to downtown. So it's an easy drive if you're someone who works that way or wants to be in downtown. Now, I want to show you here. One of the things about that area is this, though. You see the red dots around these areas. These are areas that are actually inside the city limits. So if you're in Sequoia Hills, you're going to be paying city and county taxes. Usually the people who live there understand that. They're good with it because the area is just worth it. And the homes are just worth it. So, but some of you, that's a big deal too. So I want to point that out. You can go to Google Maps, look on here, you can get a good feel. You can see that they do come in like down here in the North Shore Town Center area. And the city does come in and grab up, I call it, some of these areas. So pull that back out so you can see some of that. But anyhow, so you will have to weigh those options as far as what you would want to put into these areas. Our East Knoxville area up here, I didn't talk about it much. I will talk about it out here somewhere. It is an older area. This area around Holston Hills Country Club and all is a really good area. I haven't had near as many people at the moment be as interested in this eastern part right in here, just simply because a lot of these areas are just older. and a lot of the homes have yet to be renovated. There's not as many options, but when you get out a little bit, you start running into some, once again, really nice properties out in this area that when they do come up can be a little more affordable. And then to finish this off, I do want to show you've also got up here above, you've got Norris Lake up here, Maynardville, Caryville's up here, Dandridge. We got a lot of folks that we work with purchase homes in Dandridge, Jefferson City, up in these areas, because you do get, if you're okay with being 45 minutes to an hour out of Knoxville or better, you can get more for your money up in Jefferson City area, the Dandridge area, Kodak area, in these areas. So these are areas we're going to do some more videos on in time, but I did want to just point those out while we're looking at Knoxville. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so below. You'll see when we put out our new videos every week. And until next time, guys, I can't wait to see you around Knoxville soon.